Here to discuss the impact of Catholic voters on this election is the president of CatholicVote, Brian Burch. We're so glad we got you back up online. Welcome. So let's talk about this because Donald Trump he's not leaving anything on the table. He's posting prayers to St. Michael. He's got the Ave Maria going at rallies. He's going to the Al Smith dinner, and he's just really showing love to Catholics. And Kamala has nothing going on in that. And is that a huge mistake?
It is. I believe so. And, Kamala Harris has made a massive gamble here, Rachel. She has calculated that she can build a new political coalition that excludes people of faith, including Catholics. And as you know, the Democratic Party has been the home of the majority of Catholic voters for decades. And yet what we've seen is on issue after issue over the last several decades, a systematic leaving behind of Catholics to the point where Kamala Harris is essentially now saying, I no longer need you and get out of my way.
Well, in fact, her campaign manager, supposedly there was some tussle about why she didn't go, and she's blaming her campaign manager. And in essence, the conversation was about that the campaign manager said, hey, this will offend our LGBTQ and our very progressive voters. Better you not go. So I think your point is well taken. I want you to look at this poll. This is with Catholics. So Harris has 47 to 52 with Trump. But here's another interesting poll. They're among all Catholics, but white Catholics, 61% for Trump, only 34 with Hispanic Catholics. That's an interesting number, especially as you're seeing Hispanics, men in particular, moving towards Donald Trump. What do you make of those numbers?
Well, we're seeing even better numbers for the president in some of these swing states, particularly in the upper Midwest, like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, where the Catholic vote makes up nearly 30%. And I think what we might be seeing here, Rachel, is really a watershed moment where this long-time tradition of many Catholics voting for Democrats have finally said, I didn't leave the party left me. And they are now looking seriously at Donald Trump, not just on a lot of the obviously traditional social issues like life and religious liberty, but on the border, on the economy, and on, frankly, just our Catholic way of life. I think they feel comfortable with President Trump, and they don't feel so with Kamala Harris.
Yeah, she's been very aggressive against Catholics. Even as a senator, right?
Absolutely. As a U.S. senator, she went after a member of the Knights of Columbus. She's introduced legislation that would end our Catholic hospitals, our charities. She does not believe in religious liberty for Catholics. And I think we're waking up to this fact. This is a different Democratic Party than what we've seen in the past. Very different even from Joe Biden, who at least paid lip service to the Catholic issues and called himself a devout Catholic. Catholics are kind of tired of being catered to by politicians every 4 years that come around with this social justice platitudes, and they've finally said enough is enough. We want someone to stand up for us, stand up for what we believe, and I think right now President Trump is that choice.
Yeah, I think a lot of Catholics did fall sway to sort of the social justice, especially when it came to the border. They really wanted to show compassion to the illegal immigrants who were coming over. Many of them, as you know, are Catholic, but so many have fallen into exploitation, sexual exploitation, the sex trade, and even child labor, that they're seeing that these so-called progressive, compassionate policies don't actually end up being that way. So, Brian Burch, great to have you. Whoever's advising Donald Trump, bravo. He's hitting all the right notes. Kamala, pay attention. Brian Burch, thanks for joining.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.